Hi, I'm Katie Gentle.
And I'm Zakia Epps. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Tier 1 intervention as it relates to working with families and communities.
And we're going to talk about our content areas, and mine is physical education.
Mine is Spanish.
And we're going to talk about how we're going to blend that and use family and communities to help with the students also improve on their physical education and their Spanish skills. Now that you know who we are, we want you to know why we chose in our content areas and why we have a passion for what we do.
One of the reasons I chose to study Spanish and to eventually teach Spanish as a second language to students is because I feel like knowing a different language is very valuable. It's a very valuable asset to have to be able to communicate with people who do not speak the same native language as Americans. My seventh grade Spanish teacher, when I was first introduced to the language, she didn't really have effective means of keeping the class engaged in learning. So I feel like through the Tier 1 intervention plans that we can better make up methods to combat this.
And the reason why I chose physical education is because I have a passion for athletics and for spreading or helping other students have a healthy lifestyle. And I want to be able to teach my students how to have healthy lifestyles so they can pass it on to their families, just like my mom passed it on to me when I was growing up, because I grew up in a very, very, very healthy household, and I want them to have the same opportunities that I did.
One of the ways to foster and maintain healthy relationships within a group is to give students accountability partners. If I'm Katie's accountability partner and she's my accountability partner, then we'll make sure that we are both doing what we need to do. And within that itself, there's a group and there's a relationship that we will have.
Another way that we want to build healthy relationships is to let the students pick what they would like to do for that day. So example, like Montessorian schools, they allow their students to choose what exercises they want to do or what lessons they would like to learn. So in my physical education classroom, they will get to pick which exercises or physical activity they want to do. And in Zakia's Spanish classes, they'll be able to choose what Spanish lesson they would like to do.
The last way is to give students activities to take home, and these activities will incorporate the Spanish language and also some exercises for physical education. This includes group working and family time because you will be working with people within the community or within people at home to do their homework.
We can do this by having a display board in our classrooms. This will cause our students to be personally motivated by seeing their improved scores every 6 weeks.
The family members and community members who come out to these events will be personally motivated to help their students and their loved ones improve on their Spanish proficiency and their physical training scores because they will know that it'll be displayed and they will want to be a part of their child's improvement. So at the next PTA, PTSA or meeting or open house, the parents can be like, baby, I remember I helped you improve on this. So we think that that'll be a really good method of incorporating families and communities, as well as giving the children a personal source of motivation versus rewards or threat of punishment. We will differentiate by including technology in our classrooms. We will make videos of the workouts so that the students, when they're at home, they can do the workouts with their families, and also just in case they did not understand or recall what we went over in class, they will have that visual. Also, on the visuals, the words will be in Spanish, they will be written across the screen, and the instructor on the video will actually say what we're doing.
We want to show our students and our families that we care about their culture and we're not just trying to push them through our school systems. And because Zakia is a Spanish major and I'm a physical education major, the perfect way to blend these two subjects is through a soccer game. Soccer is the biggest sport in the Spanish community. The students will be able to invite their families and their community members to these soccer events. And they will be able to learn the Spanish culture and they will be physically active at the same time. We would like to also host dinners once a month with our students and their families by serving Mexican cuisine, and I can teach the nutritional values of these foods to their families so they learn how to eat healthy and Spanish food at the same time.
So this way, they're still learning Spanish because they're learning about Spanish foods, and they're also learning things dealing with physical education because they're learning how to eat food from the Spanish culture as well as how to eat the healthy foods. Well, Katie, it can't be as simple as it seems to get families and communities involved, can it?
No, there's always going to be those difficult families or difficult family members.
You're right. You're right. It might be difficult for English speaking families to be interested in learning a second language. And then we have to find methods to get them involved or to get them motivated to learn a different language. Likewise, some families are interested in health education and some families aren't. The families who are not interested in health education is going to be really tough to getting them to change in the routine to get them involved into their children's health education. But as educators, it is very vital that we find ways to get these families interested into their child's education of the Spanish language and culture as well as physical education.
In accordance to Shape America's national PE standards, my students will learn that physical education will help them in social situations, which in turn will help them interact with their family and their community.
In accordance with ACTFL's Communities 5.1 and 5.2 standards, the students will interact with people from their community in order to be enriched by the Spanish culture as well as to enjoy things from the Spanish culture such as the foods and the different types of games. Research from Where Merely Fair Isn't Always Equal book teaches us that the way students should be taught, assessed, and graded is going to vary from student to student. So, in order to address those needs, my Spanish language, my Spanish teaching, as well as Katie's physical education teaching will be differentiated for each student in order to cater to the needs of them all.
This includes modifications for students with physical disabilities or speech impediments.
The reasons I'm really interested in using the Tier 1 interventions as it relates to getting the families and communities involved is because when I was in 7th grade and I learned Spanish or I was introduced to Spanish for the first time, I didn't have anyone to go home to or have any methods put in place whereas I could go home to someone and actually practice my Spanish or better it anymore. I either got it during that class period or I didn't get it. So I think it's very important now since we know technology and more information has given us the knowledge to know that it's important to get those families and communities involved. I think that it's going to be really helpful and a really good thing for us to create Tier 1 interventions for that purpose.
And the reason why I'm interested in the family community part of the Tier 1 intervention is because not every student or every child grows up in a healthy lifestyle and doesn't get those examples. So if I'm in the community and I'm working in the schools, I can show them their examples of a healthy lifestyle and how to be physically fit, and hopefully that can show into their families. They can learn how to have a healthy lifestyle as well.